Have you seen the commercial? You know, the one of everyone smiling while using their smartphones outside. 5G is finally coming to a city near you. Why would you need anything else? So let's take a quick look under the hood. How do they stack up? Reliability and attenuation. What is 5G exactly? That's a great question. That's actually not a standard. That being said, 5G generally refers to using the millimeter wave portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. Those are frequencies above 30 gigahertz. Why should you care about that? The signal does not pass through foliage, wall, and water very well. What are you and I made of? Mostly water. Any radio frequency technology is subject to the inverse square law. What that means is you're twice the distance from a cellular tower, the signal you're receiving on your phone is actually only a quarter of the strength you would be receiving next to the tower. If you double that distance, you're only receiving a 16th of the original signal. With fiber optic, you're using shielded cable, lasers to transmit the signal. Did you know that all the transatlantic cable and the trans-Pacific cables are using fiber optic to communicate at the speed of light? Power and resiliency. Being here in Newport County, we have to worry about resiliency. What that means, if we lose power for an extended amount of time due to an ice storm or a hurricane, we need to still be able to communicate. With 5G, it requires a lot of outdoor components. Maybe a micro-transmitter one every 500 meters. That's sure a lot of juice. With fiber optic, the standard technology, which is called GPON, is a very low power demand technology. As long as you have a backup generator next to your central components, which are battery backed up anyway, and everyone at their home had a couple of rechargeable batteries to keep on running much like your cable modem, you're still in the game and connected. Are you really going to use a ham radio to find out what's going on in the event of a disaster? Not me. EMI, electromagnetic interference. Any radio frequency technology is subject to EMI. With fiber optic, did you know that power companies absolutely love fiber optic cables? It allows them to deploy a smart grid because those fiber optic signals are not degraded by the presence of high voltage power lines nearby. Rain fade. When it rains or snows, any radio frequency signal is degraded. Data caps. This is sure something that the telecom industry doesn't like to talk about. Have you checked your cell phone bill lately? How much data per month are you really buying? And at what point do they start to throttle your streaming? Maybe 15 to 22 gigabytes? If you're a streaming household, maybe streaming 2 to 3 hours a day, high definition 1080p, you're running about 200 gigabytes per month. What's going to happen when everyone switches to 4K streaming? I'll let you Google that. With fiber optics, the great thing about those networks is they directly tie into what's called Tier 1 Internet Point to Present. That means that data is freely exchanged at no cost to anybody. That's why a lot of municipalities, when they deploy fiber to the premise, they definitely don't have data caps. Data rate and symmetry. Can you tell me what upload speed you're actually receiving from your internet service provider? It's pretty hard to find that information. And the reason why is because it's not symmetric. With fiber optics, the standard technology is GPON. GPON means a symmetric 1000 megabits per second connection. That means your upload speed and the download speed is full gig. Why should you care about that? We're moving to a cloud-based economy, and augmented and virtual reality are becoming standard technology that we'll care about very soon. Scenic views. Being in a beautiful part of the country, we care a lot about our scenic views. For 5G to work, you require a micro-transmitter, maybe one every 500 meters. Do you remember all that controversy about the Rogers High School cell phone tower? What's going to happen if they need to put a 5G micro-transmitter on a telephone pole right outside your house? With the original 4G technology, those cell phone towers needed to be several miles apart. That's why 5G is a technology that you're going to see more in cities, not in a place like Newport County. With fiber optic, you're basically reusing a existing telephone pole where we can go buried for most of the network. A very minimal impact to the scenic views that we care so deeply about. Weather and radar. Millimeter wave, the presence of millimeter wave affects water vapor reading. Why should you care about that? Water vapor reading help us know if a hurricane is intensifying. Interestingly, the United States Navy issued a memorandum of warning stating that the degradation in water vapor reading, we would actually be going back about 30 years in our accuracy, would affect situational awareness and flight safety. I sure care about that. With fiber, you're basically using shielded cable. It's not going to impact anything when it comes to water vapor readings. Future proofing. 5G is a great technology until 6G comes along. There's really no plan for future proofing. With fiber optic cable, Corning, a major manufacturer of fiber optic cable based in the United States of America, guarantees their fiber optic cable for a minimum of 25 years. Do you know that the telecom industry has been using fiber optic cable for over 40 years? The cool thing about fiber optic is the cable itself stays in place while you upgrade the electronics on the endpoint, and then you just increase the capacity of the network over time as those electronics advance. Net neutrality. This is something you definitely should care about. 5G is provided by private companies, large corporations that may have horizontal and vertical mergers that include media companies and movie studios as part of their portfolio. Let's say that you want to stream a competitor's streaming content. What happens there? They may actually slow down your speed or charge you for the data cap of those products. The great thing about municipal-based fiber, we could care less what you do on that fiber optic cable. Privacy. Did you know that your internet service provider is probably selling your personal browsing data to make some extra money? With municipal fiber, we really have better things to do. Oligopoly and monopoly. The 5G promotion is really nothing more than to entrench the current system that we have here in the United States of America for our home and business internet option. And what that model is the cellular companies take one end, and then we leave monopoly landline providers to provide us our home and business internet connection. And this is why I saved the biggest smile for the end. Hundreds and hundreds of municipalities are getting fed up and deploying their own fiber optic network. We are breaking free of a monopoly provider. So let me leave you with a parting thought. For 5G to even work in the first place, it requires a fiber optic backhaul anyway.